All right, happy studying, guys. We are going to work through the final exam review, and I'm going to do videos page by page. So this is our first page. The first question asks about the domain in interval notation. It is a multiple choice question, as are all of the questions on the final exam. Things to remember about interval notation. If we have a circle that is closed in, like this graph, then we will have a bracket. If we use the number infinity, ever, we will have a parenthesis. So that arrow means that we are going forever and ever to the right. So that would be infinite. If it were an open circle, say this guy right here, maybe we had something over here, that would be an open circle, that would also warrant a parenthesis. So domain, if we remember, is left to right. It's the x values. So we say how far left does our graph go and how far right does our graph go. Our graph starts at the number 1 and it has a closed-in circle. So we know it's going to be a bracket on the number 1 and it goes infinitely to the right. So a parenthesis on infinity. So that would be letter C. Now range is going to be low to high. So the lowest point on this graph is positive 1. And so it starts at positive 1, and again, it still continues infinitely. So even though this looks like it's going right, it's also going up as it goes right. So range is always our y values. That's our up and down. And we go low to high. So on this one, we would say 1 to infinity as well. We continue on. We are going to look at a new graph. So this graph, if you notice, has our fancy open circle, the whole. So remember, domain is the same, right to left, or left to right. So our leftmost point is -5, and it's going to be a parenthesis. On the 5 over here, even though there's not an actual filled in circle, we can see it's not an open circle. So we're going to say it's included. So we're going to use a bracket. So this is going from -5 to +5. When I look at the range is up and down. And remember, it goes low to high. I messed that one up a lot. So low to high. So we look for the lowest point on our graph, which is -4, and it's not got an open circle, so we're going to say it's included. And then +4 does have an open circle, so we're going to say it's excluded, or it's got a parenthesis. So this is going to go from -4 to +4, just like that. The intervals where the graph is positive is going to be anything that is above the x-axis. So it's going to be this point, and this, and this. This little U means union. So on this problem, we're going to say it goes from, again, it's still that open parenthesis, so that hasn't changed. And we're looking at the x values. So we're going to go from -5 all the way to 2, which is right here. And at 2, we are neither negative or positive. We are at 0, so we're going to say 2 and use a parenthesis. Then we also go back over here and we start at +2. Sorry, that should have been a -2. Start at +2, and that goes all the way to 5. That's where I'm negative. Where I'm positive is going to be below the x-axis. So that's going to be these guys over here. This way. That one's a little bit easier to write. So that one's going to be from -2. Again, we're still with parentheses, and it's going to end at +2. Whenever we're looking at intervals where the graph is positive or negative, always use parentheses, no brackets, because we don't include the number on the line. The last two questions here talk about the x-intercept. So remember, the x-intercept is where does my graph touch the x-axis. This guy's the x-axis. So we're looking at this point, and this point. So our x-intercepts are going to be -2, 0, 2, 0, and 5, 0. And these are all going to be with parentheses because they are ordered pairs, and ordered pairs are always parentheses. The y-intercept is going to be right down here where it crosses the y-axis, and that is going to be 0, -4. So I go left or right, none. This is my x, this is my y. All right, gang, that's all for page 1. I'm going to go ahead and publish this video and send it out to you guys.